Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and in this video we're going to discuss the various sizes of power stations and really just want to show you how I use these on all of our overlanding trips. Now that we have the new rig, the Ross Monster, I'm taking a couple power stations with us all the time. And these other ones are ones that we do use from time to time. And I think this will just walk you through kind of the overall options and setups for your overland rig, for your trailer, for your car, truck, SUV, whatever, tent, ground tent. So that's the plan. What we have here are what I consider to be the four best sizes of a power station. There are options kind of in between some of these, but for the most part, I think these are the key sweet spots here. Starting with the little one here, this is the Gladiator Elite 30. This is one of their newest power stations, and I absolutely love this little guy. It's 288 watt hours, which in the world of power stations doesn't sound like a lot, but it's enough to do some very important things. So that's, we'll get into that. Up next, we have the Elite 100, which is a 1,000 watt hour power station. And this is perfect for running a fridge. If you are going out for a weekend or need some way to make sure that your fridge, your 12 volt fridge stays running all the time, you don't want to risk draining your starter battery in your vehicle. You also don't want to deal with installing a whole auxiliary battery system. This is where this starts. That's what the Elite 100 is for. Next, we have, I've got the AC200 PL. Also in this category is the AC200L and the new Elite 200. I don't have the Elite 200 here anymore, but for my purposes, I like the AC200L and the AC200PL because it's got the 30 amp plug, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But this is when you have a trailer or need even more power. Maybe you're doing a lot more than just powering your fridge. But this will help power a trailer. And this size, this 2,000 watt hour size, really comes into play when you start thinking of like home emergency backup, disaster recovery type of situation. That's where that you start at the 2,000 watt hour for that disaster recovery home backup situation. And then we have the new Apex 300. I've talked about that a lot recently because it's modular and it's expandable. So you can start with this one at almost 3,000 watt hours and have legit home backup, have legit RV power or trailer power. If you want to build an expandable system and not do the whole auxiliary battery thing in your rig, this is a really good option. You pair that with Blue Eddy's little expansion hub here and get all your 12 volt access. You get a 50 amp Anderson plug output here, and it really allows you to build out an overland trailer, an overland rig, a van, that sort of thing with the Elite 300. So let me break this down, how we use them. Okay, let's start off with the Elite 30. This little guy I absolutely love. Now, I've shown this in other videos, how this is perfect for use up in a tent. So if you just need to charge your phone, charge your watch, charge a few electronics and that sort of thing, this is the perfect size for that. You can stick it in a corner and very unobtrusive and out of the way. Great little size for that purpose. For me, I use this as a dedicated, this is kind of my charging hub for the back of our new truck here. So it's so small that it literally just fits right here behind the seat. And then I put together this little charging hub for all of my camera batteries, and have all the wires coming out of here. So what I do is I run the power from the 12-volt socket into my little Elite 30 here, and then I plug everything in. So got that one, make sure all the ports are turned on. Got that one, got that one, and that one, and let's see, is that it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I also plugged that one in there, so I have a little extra one to charge my remote. And then this right here, this is my power setup. So this is here out of the way. My batteries are very accessible. The Gladiator is always charging my batteries, so I never have to worry about that. And when the truck is on, it's charging the Elite 30. And I mean, I never have to touch this. The Elite 30 just stays charged. And if I do use batteries and stuff, once we get to camp, there's enough power in the Elite 30 with the 288 watt hours to make sure all my batteries are charged. So I never have a dead battery anymore with all of this stuff. So this is a great little setup. So, you know, if you have electronic needs such as this, you know, no matter what they may be, this type of setup going from 12 volt into here, and then this just stays here out of the way, tucked behind the driver's seat, and boom, that's it. So it's perfect. All right, if you want to run a fridge in your vehicle, whether, you know, backseat of an SUV or rear of an SUV, back of a truck, there's two ways to go about this. One, the Elite 100 will have plenty of power to run a fridge for a weekend. If you're just camped and staying still for a weekend, depending on ambient temperatures. I mean, if you're camping in 100-degree heat, one, that's probably a mistake anyway. And, you know, the fridge may have a hard time, you know, maybe running nonstop in that type of heat. But for the most part, typical camping weather, the Elite 100 will run a typical fridge for a weekend, ish. But, you know, if you're doing if you're doing an overlanding style trip and you are traveling each day, changing campsites each day, then here's what you do. You take your fridge and you plug it into the Elite 100. Then you take your Elite 100, and here I've just got it plugged into the 12-volt socket. So what happens is, while you are traveling, the vehicle is charging the power station, whatever you may have drained it down to overnight while the fridge was running, charging phones and electronics and camera batteries and all that sort of thing. While you're traveling, the vehicle is charging the Elite 100 at about 100 watts. What are we doing here? Yeah, 104 watts. At the same time, it is powering the fridge. And so, as you can see right now, charging at 104 watts, the fridge is pulling 50-something watts. So this is charging more than this is pulling. So as you're driving throughout the day, this will very easily get topped back up. But no problem. So this right here, fantastic setup, super simple setup to have, you know, kind of regenerative power for, you know, your overlanding trips, weekend camping trips, that sort of thing. This right here is a great combo. Now, the other solution, especially if maybe your fridge is in the back of a truck and you don't have a 12-volt outlet back there, or if you just want to make sure that your power station, whether it's the Elite 100 or the Elite 200 or even the Apex 300, any of those would work with it. What you do is you get the Gladiator Charger 1. This is a charging device that you run cables to your starter battery, and so this actually charges off the alternator. But you run cables from your starter battery to this. You can mount this anywhere. up under a seat. You know, for here, I could put it, you know, back here. I could put it down here on the seat delete. You can mount this pretty much anywhere you want to. And then what you do is you remove, you take the, oh, this is not the right cord for this one, but you take the MC4 solar connectors for your power station, and you plug those into this, and this will charge this at either about 560 watts or whatever the maximum amount of solar charging capability is for your power station. The Elite 100 can charge faster than 560 watts with solar, so this would crank out 560 watts. And I mean, if you drain this thing to zero, it would recharge it in a little over 2 hours. So, I mean, super, super fast. So you get 560 watts of charging versus 100 watts with the 12 volt. So depending on your setup, how fast you want to make sure this thing charges, how, you know, simple but more complex than running the, where'd it go? Than running the 12 volt cable. The charging one's a great way to go. Now, with the 2,000 watt hour power station, either the AC200PL, the AC200L, or the new Elite 200, exact same setup with the Elite 100. You just have double the power here. So if you plan on camping longer than, say, a weekend and not moving, that's when you want to consider maybe a 2,000 watt hour power station or something in this class. You know, it's a little bit heavier, but it will double the amount of power that you have before you have to recharge it. Now, like I said, what I like about the AC200L or the AC200PL is that this then gives you the flexibility to plug a you know, a van or a trailer, our Ross Monster, anything with a 30 amp plug. This gives you that flexibility to add power to your setup if you already have something, you know, installed like that. So that's really the application for this. All right, and finally, the Elite 300. This really is a cool, powerful power station that, like I said earlier, is expandable and flexible. You can just fully set this up as a home, you know, backup system. You can actually wire this into your house. You can pair 3 of these together with multiple expansion batteries and have over 50,000 watt hours of usable power to run your home in the midst, you know, in the event of a power outage. Same thing with an RV or a van or, you know, a truck camper or an overland trailer. You can plug this in and set this up, get expansion batteries as needed, wire in the DC hub, and have all of your DC outputs for USB and stuff. The flexibility and the things that you can use this for are pretty impressive, and unlike any other that I know of on the market. Now, for our purposes, this is our kind of backup expansion for this rig. This truck has 660 amp hours of batteries already in it. Now, we have already learned that if we're someplace hot and need to run the 12 volt air conditioner in here, we don't have enough power to fully run the AC overnight. We have learned that if we are camped somewhere for a number of days and it is cloudy and we're not getting hardly any solar input, that battery capacity will last us about 3 or 4 days, depending on how we're using that, you know, depending on what we're using the power for. So this serves as our backup. This gives us almost another 300 amp hours of battery capacity from just this. And what we do here, with our seat delete platform, the AC cord just plugs into an outlet right through there, and we slide this back here. I've got some little roller cam straps that go right here, And with the handles being like they are, I can very easily just strap this in so it doesn't move. And so, boom, there's one side. And here is the other side. And now this is secure here in the back seat. There we go. And I can, if we have used it, I can top this off very easily in just a couple hours as we're driving from the inverter and the charging system in the back of the truck. And if we need any additional power, this serves as our kind of backup to extend our range a little bit further, allow us to run the AC all night if we need to, if we're in a hot environment. But without this, it limits. Without this, we're a little bit limited with the current 660 amp hours in places we can camp, or for how long we can camp. This makes this helps extend that. It helps us be able to stay in places warmer and longer than what we could otherwise. So we've got a trip coming up. The next series of videos from our trips, heading out west for the Rebel Rally, and me chasing them around, and going out on my own to find camps and stuff around central western California and Nevada. You're going to see this setup right here. The Elite 300, the Elite 30 will be right here, and the Apex 300 will be right here in all of those videos, because this is our setup, and I don't have to necessarily wire in a whole other expensive battery back there. I can just bring this, and this is cheaper than another 300. This is a lot cheaper than another 330 amp hour battery for our system that we have built in. So yeah, this is the setup. Well, I hope that was helpful as you are trying to plan out your power needs and how you're going to configure it, how much you need for different tasks, and how to set them up in your vehicles. These different scenarios have worked and continue to work very well for us. I hope this was helpful. So if you would, give the video a like, subscribe, give us the YouTube love, check out the Patreon link in the description or right here on the QR code if you like what we're doing and you want to consider supporting the channel. Get access to special events, special content, and all of the GPS data from our trips. And for all of our merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.